welcome back to my channel. So today I'm in my car, but we're not doing a drive with me like usual. Today I'm gonna tell you guys my driver's test experience and how I got my license. So first of all, I live in Indiana, so everything that I say and talk about in this video is specifically about my state. I don't know about other states. I don't know, this is just my personal experience too, so keep that in mind. I'm 16 years old, and in my state you have to be 16 and a half years old to get your license if you didn't take driver's ed. I didn't take driver's ed because my parents just taught me how to drive, and I don't know, I didn't want to have my parents pay for me to learn how to drive, you know, when they could just do it for me. Not for me, but like, you know, teach me how to do it. And it's not that long. Like for me at the time, it felt like a long time waiting until I was 16 and a half to get my license, because I wanted to get my license so bad. But in reality, guys, you should just, if you know an adult, your parent, anyone that knows how to drive, just let them teach you how to drive and wait until you're 16 and a half if you live in Indiana, or however old you need to be. But for me personally, I don't think driver's ed is necessary to get your license. So I talked a little bit about my experience in my first time driving alone. Watch it right here. But I wanted to go more in depth about like the little details and things like that, because I don't think I explained it that well in that video. So the first thing is, right now, if you're old enough, if you meet all the requirements to get your license, you should definitely go get it right now. I don't know if it's still a long wait, probably because of COVID is starting up again. Be safe, y'all. But when I went, COVID was a thing. COVID don't want to go away. The one thing that you can benefit from COVID is your driver's test will probably be so much easier than like in regular times before COVID, because they're not gonna want to be in the car with you for a long time because of the virus, you know. So they're gonna try to make it as quick as possible, and things are just gonna be a lot easier for you. My test was like 10 to 15 minutes max. Like to me it felt like it was like 5 minutes, but it was probably like 10 to 15 minutes. But I was so nervous, but it really went by so quickly for me. So the first thing is that I didn't take the test in my city, because like I said, I feel like I've said COVID 10 times, but because of COVID, they didn't have any tests available in my area. So I was just like, I was one of those kids. I was annoying. I was like literally checking every single day because I wanted to get my license so bad, and I was so impatient. So I was literally checking the website every single day, and my city didn't have any available appointments. Like I would check all the way until the date that you could check it, and it always said it was full or no, like driver, teacher, whatever available. So I was just like, oh my god. Chapstick break, because y'all know I hate a crusty lip. Y'all know this at this point. So my mom told me that one of her friends kid was gonna take his test like somewhere like far away, like in a different city. So I was like, let me check to see if they have tests available for me. And guess what? They did. They had one test available. I forget the day exactly that I got my license, but I scheduled the appointment. At first I went and told my parents, because it was like at night, they were like in bed getting ready to go to sleep, and I was like, oh my god, this appointment. I was like all like, because I knew that they had to go to work, so they couldn't take me. But if I told them, maybe one of them could take the day off work. So I told them, and they were like, we don't know. And they were like, you should just schedule it just in case. And they were like, you should see if your cousin can take you. So I texted my cousin, and she had that day off. Like if that is not a sign of God that I was gonna get my license that day, then I don't know what was. Like literally I texted her, she was like, oh, I have the day off, I can take you. And I was like, period. And then she took me. The days leading up to it, I was so excited. Like I have a whiteboard on my desk, and I was so like, I literally wrote this many days until my test. Like I was so obsessed. Like I was ready for my test. I was so prepared and excited and all that. Tell me why the day of, this was me. Let me insert a picture, because I took a picture of myself in the mirror. I was so nervous. Like, you know that when you wake up in the morning and you're like excited for something, like you don't want to get up, but you're like, oh, I want to go do this. Mine was the opposite. I thought I was gonna be so excited, but I was scared and I didn't want to do this. And like I told you, I was far away. It was like an hour and a half away. So all the way in the car, I was like, my cousin was making jokes and I felt so bad because I was just like, shut the fuck up. Like, I was so, like, I wasn't trying to be mean, but I was so nervous. I was like, this is no time to joke. This is not funny. Like, I was so sure that I was gonna fail because I was so scared of the parallel parking part. I still don't know how to parallel park, so if that tells you anything, but I have my license. So the whole way there, so nervous, literally like shaking. Like, I didn't want to talk, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get there. I just wanted to go home, to be honest. I didn't want to take the test anymore. Like, I literally told her, I was like, I don't want to take the test anymore. And she was like, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna pass it. And everybody was telling me that, and I know, like, obviously when somebody's like, oh my god, I'm scared, you're telling them you're gonna be fine, like, it's gonna be okay. But we don't believe it. In the moment, I was just like, nope, like, shut up, like, I don't want to hear that, like, stop. I was so scared. Can you guys tell that I was scared? So we got there, like, we didn't get there late, but on the website it says you should be there 15 minutes before your actual appointment. So my appointment was at 9, so we were supposed to be there at 8:15. We left my house at like 7, something like that. But because we were gonna get there on time, but there was traffic like right when we were about to be there. So we got there at like 9. We didn't get there at 8:45. I think I said 8:15, but I meant 8:45. So we get there, it was literally empty and there was nobody there but the people. And my cousin was like, sorry we're late. She was like, are you guys doing the driver's test? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, you guys aren't late, which we weren't late because my appointment was at 9, and I did get there at 9, or we did get there at 9. But we just thought that since it says on the website, we should say something. And the lady that talked to us at first was, she looked kind of mean, and I was like, hopefully she's not the one, because there was like only like 3 people there. No, 4. There was a security guard. The security guard was really nice, by the way. The lady that talked to us at first, the other lady that was sitting at her computer, and then a guy that was sitting at his computer. So I was like, in my mind before all this, I was like, I'm hoping I get a nice talkative person that talks to me, because I was like, if they just tell me like, turn here, turn right, do this, stop, like, I feel like I'm gonna be scared, and like awkward silence, you know, I'm gonna be even more nervous. So I was hoping that I got a really nice and sweet person. But I didn't see no nice and sweet person. So I was panicking even more. Like, I was shaking. I don't know if I was actually shaking. I felt like I was shaking. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but when I get nervous, like, I go numb. Like, my legs, like, they felt so numb and cold, and my hands did too. Like, when I got there, she sent me to, the lady that talked to us at first sent us to sit down, and she was like, she's gonna call you, which was the lady that was at the computer. And she reminded me of my old gym teacher. My old gym teacher looks mean. Like, they looked exactly alike. They might have been sisters. They look mean, but they're not mean. She was like, Janelle, and then I went, and then she was like, read over all of these things. It was the automatic fail things checklist, like, if you do this, you're gonna fail automatically, and things like that, things that would take off points of your test. So I grabbed the paper and I was like, shaking. Like, that's when I knew that I was actually shaking, because when I sat down in the chair with the paper, the paper was like,
we are going to pretend we didn't hear that,
because I was like shaking. I was being so extra for no reason, but I was really scared. And then after I read it, I went back, and she was like asking me for my permit and all that. And a thing that they did there that surprised me, that I don't know if they do this in any other state or if they do it at the one in my city, but they were really nice in this one. And she told me, she was like, did you get the speed limit for the school on your way here? And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, it's 30. And I was like, I did not know that she was gonna tell me all this. Like, so sweet, like, so nice, like, thank you, like, you're telling me things that I didn't even know, like, thanks. And then she was telling me like a whole bunch of other things that you're supposed to study in the book. Like, things that I had to have memorized, she was telling me, like, you can turn here, you can do this. I can't explain things right, I'm sorry guys. Basically, she was giving me like tips, and I didn't expect that. I didn't expect tips. I thought that it was just gonna be like, give me your permit, done and go, let's go, let's go, let's go, and we're gonna do this, and we're just not gonna talk. But no, she was so sweet. And then after all that, she was like, okay, are you ready to go? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm not ready to go. Like, I want to go home. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. I was like, yeah. And I had my mask on, and she had her mask on, and she took her little plastic thingy, and we went out the door, and I couldn't open the door. I was pushing on it, and then she was like, I got it. She was like, you're a little thing. She was like, I'll open it for you. And I was just like, embarrassing. And then after that, we went out to my car, and I unlocked it, and she put, since COVID, she put a plastic seat covering on it. And I already knew this from the website, but you have to have your windows, both the front ones, cracked open a little bit, and it was kind of cold, so I was like, but I cracked them down because, I don't know, like, they think COVID's gonna fly out that little space, like, sis. But it's a requirement, so I get it. Like, it wasn't her fault. Like, I was just like, roll. Also, I had left my keys on my seat, not my car keys, but like my house keys and like all that I had on lanyard. And she was like, are those yours? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she was like, no, you're fine, because I was so nervous, and she could tell that I was nervous. So the way that DMV was. Hey guys, so I just realized that throughout the whole video I was saying DMV, because that's the way that I'm used to saying it, because that's how you say it in Spanish, and that's how I say it with my parents and everything like that. So I meant to say BMV. Setup is that it's like a parking lot, a long parking lot like this, and it has two exits. It has two exits. It has an exit right here, and it has an exit right here. And you could go out either one, like they lead you to the same place. So she was like, go ahead and exit the parking lot. And then I was like, which exit? Like, my little was scared, shaky voice. And then she was like, whichever one makes you most comfortable. And I was like, why is she so nice? And so I exited the parking lot, and she was giving me directions. And then she was like, she started talking to me, and she was asking me about school and stuff like that. Because when we first got to the DMV, we told them that we weren't from there. That's why we were late. And so she heard that, and then she started like asking me. She was like, have you ever been here? And I was like, yeah, my dad brought me last week because he wanted me to get like comfortable with the roads and everything like that around here and the speed limits. So she was like, oh, okay. And then she would be like, turn right. She was asking me about school. She was like, are you doing online or are you doing in person? I was like, I'm doing online. She was like, do you like it? Stuff like that. And she literally just took me, because there was, once you exit DMV and you go onto the main street, there's a school, and she literally just took me around the school. And there was a place where this was like one of my dumb moments. Like, I literally blanked out, and I was like, because they can't answer any questions like that you ask them. You can ask them, but they're gonna tell you I can't answer. So so I was at a light, and I didn't know if I could turn on red or not. So I asked her, I was like, can I turn here? No, I don't know what I said. I was like, if there's no cars coming, I can turn right here, right? And then she was like, I can't answer that. And then the light, but she didn't say it in like a mean way. She said it like, she was like, I can't answer that question. And then the light turned green. So I just went, and she was like, oh, you don't have to think about it anymore. And I was like, ma'am, you are the nicest lady I've ever met. And then she was like writing down on her little clipboard, and I was just like not trying to look because I was scared. And then I was not trying to be nosy either, and I had to focus on my test and my road. Literally, like I said in the beginning of the video, it felt like 5 minutes. She literally only took me around the school, and she was like, then after that, she was like, go ahead and turn back into the DMV. And I was like, because the night before I couldn't sleep, so I was literally looking up DMV tests, like test drives, like I don't know, like other people taking their tests and like things that they did wrong or anything like that, or like things that made them fail. And the thing I noticed in all those videos was that when they failed, they literally took them, like they didn't tell them that they failed, they just like gave them directions back to the DMV like so quickly. So I was like, oh my god, I failed this test. I was like, it's done. I was so sad. I felt so defeated. I turned back into the DMV and I was like, where do I park? And she was like, wherever you want. And I was like, okay. And then I got out of the car and she got out of the car, and then she was like, you did everything so well. And I thought she was gonna be like, you did everything so well but this, and this is why you failed. But she was like, you did everything so well and you passed. And I was like, oh my god, period. Like, that was so ugly, I'm sorry, but I was so happy and excited, like y'all don't even understand. Like I was like, thank you so much. And then we went back in, did all the paperwork and everything, and she took my license picture, and the rest is history. And now I'm a great driver. Oh, I forgot to mention the most important part. She didn't make me parallel park, and parallel parking is one of the test requirements on the website. So I was so scared about that, but she didn't make me parallel park. That's another reason why I thought I failed, because she didn't even have me parallel park, and she just told me to turn back into the DMV. So I was like, I failed for sure, but I didn't, because I have my license now. And super sweet lady, I'm so glad I got her. I was hoping that I got a person like her. Like I said, she looked mean, but she was super nice. On the way home, I didn't end up driving home like me, because obviously it was a far drive and I still haven't drove on the highway. So my cousin drove home, but ever since, I'm officially a licensed driver, and I think I'm a pretty great driver. Like, if you ask me, my number one thing is, if you're eligible to get your license, go do it now, because now everything is so much easier. The test is shorter. They don't have you parallel park because of COVID, and they don't want to be with you in the car that long. That sounds so weird, but like, it's the truth. So go do it. Go get your license. I believe in y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video of me telling you my experience getting my license. Leave any comments or suggestions down below. Make sure to subscribe. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!